In a survival situation, we often talk about the rule of threes. Our bodies can go approximately 3 minutes without oxygen, 3 days without water, and 30 days without food. In survival situations, lots of people worry about where am I going to get my food from, but you've got time in the bank there. The truth is, what normally is going to get you is dehydration. On desert islands, it's particularly cruel because you're surrounded by the one thing you can't drink. The problem with dehydration is that long before your body gives out, your head's going to give up. You're going to get foggy. You're going to make bad calls, poor judgments. You stop thinking straight. And you need clear heads to make the right decisions. So protecting your water is really protecting your judgment. Finding water in wilderness really comes with protecting what we've already got in us, right? We're 70% water. So before you look for a single drop, you need to think about how we can maintain the water we have. First of all, any water you have on you, you want to be absolutely rationing this and drinking very, very small sips. Then you want to be staying out of the sun, working almost nocturnally, avoiding the primary times of the day, working dawn till dusk. Keep out of the heat. You want to keep your clothes on, make sure they're loose, light, keep them damp. Bare skin, it feels colder, but it's not going to be quite so cold, and your sweat will continue to evaporate. You want to make sure that you only breathe out of your nose. We lose a lot of moisture breathing out of our mouths. You don't want to eat any food. As hungry as you might be, digestion chews through water. You shouldn't be smoking, certainly shouldn't be talking. Not a lot of fun, but this is what it comes down to if you want to survive. It can be really tempting to drink seawater when you see it around, but unfortunately the salt is just going to pull out the fresh water from your body and make you more dehydrated than before. And the same goes to your own urine. Unless it's the very first wee when you're already hydrated, urine is a no-go. Same with alcohol as well. Avoid it. So where do you get the good stuff? Where do you find the water? Well, easiest water on the island, it's what falls out of the sky. It's rainwater. If you're lucky enough to be in an environment in the tropics where there's a lot of rain, you want to make sure you're catching it, creating large surface areas with anything you've got, a tarp, poncho, plastic bags, maybe an upturned raft, or using large leafy plants to try to filter them to containers, old coconuts, plastic bottles. There's plenty of containers normally washed up on desert islands. And if you haven't got any containers, then you have to work with the only one you've got, your stomach. It's a canteen. Then you want to think about, where can I possibly find water in the ground? You want to be looking for natural depreciations within the topography, which is dictating where the water may be flowing, where the lushest plants are, where there's more verdant green plants. And then if you can identify areas where there's clearly been rivers that have run in the past, look for areas where there is a bend in them and tend to dig in those areas. You might even see damp sand. That's where you'll often be able to dig out a well. You can't necessarily trust that water straight away, so we're going to need to purify, but we'll come to that later. One of the other options that we teach on the desert island is the transpiration bag. This is where you put a plastic bag over some rich vegetation, ideally not poisonous vegetation, and when the plant transpires, it lets out moisture, and that moisture can be collected. You're going to get about 50 ml of water from these. We also make a solar still, where you dig out a hole, pop a piece of polythene over the top of it, and you'll have a weight in the middle and a container at the bottom. And inside there, you could have vegetation, you could have seawater. It's going to try and evaporate, hit the polythene, go down to that focal point, and then condense and fall into your container. We also make little bottle transpiration bottles. With all the plastic bottles you find, you can set up hundreds of these where you invert a plastic bottle, same system, you're boiling seawater effectively in here, it evaporates, condenses, and you catch it. We also use glass bottles, which you put one on the fire in not direct heat, and then one next to it, and as this one boils, it condenses in the other cooler bowl. So there's a number of ways you can do it, but the best, by far, the easiest is your coconut. Each coconut can contain 300 or 400 ml of water, which is sufficient for one whole day for a human, assuming you're not breathing out your mouth and eating. Green coconuts are to be favoured. They are full of electrolytes, great drinking nuts. It's the brown ones which have much more oil content and fats, which of course our body's going to need to break down, so it's going to need some water. And if you do have too many of them, it is possible that you might start to get the runs a bit. So focus on the green ones, but brown's all you got, that's what you're going to be drinking. Aside from the coconuts, aside from the rainwater, aside from your solar stills, any water you've collected on the island you want to make sure it's good to drink. So you're going to purify it. Boiling, that's your gold standard. As long as you've got something to a rolling boil, you can be confident you've killed all of the pathogens within there. You might still have problems with heavy metals and such, and so filtration is beneficial as well. We build a filter using charcoal, which has a high surface area of almost anything in the natural world. After charcoal in the plastic bottle, you would have sand, pebbles, grass, this kind of stuff, and you would do many passes with this and continue to filter the water. And once it's safe to drink, well, you want to sip it steadily. You don't want to just gulp this stuff down. Take small sips, keep it in your mouth, treat this precious gold treasure for what it is. So that's water really. Lose less of it, catch the rain if you can, find loads of coconuts and get that right on the island, and you are well ahead of your responsibilities and you're going to be surviving. The good news is though, on our expeditions, we don't take any chances with people getting dehydration, so we always ensure you have sufficient water to see you through the survival phase. So we have quite a few people who proudly return us the 20 litres of water we gave them when they do the solo survival, as they manage to find enough coconuts. Hopefully we'll see you on the island for an adventure like that yourself. Cheers.